the importance, the power of recognition. So one of the sessions that we had was focused on that in particular, and just being able to hear the examples from my colleagues, many of whom I had never met before, really being able to hear from them on the importance of employee recognition to them, how they seek to put it into practice day over day, was really impactful and made me take away and consider whether I'm really recognizing other employees as much as I can. There are three reasons in particular. The first one is I'm convinced that none of us are really quite as good as we think we are at demonstrating the behaviors or understanding the concepts that are covered in the sessions, right? So it's happened to me a couple of times where I maybe I look at the title of the session, read some of the introductory material, and I think, oh, well, I know this already. I do this, or I'm fine with that. And perhaps I'm the only one, but I wonder if there are many of us who think the same thing. And then it comes out in the course of the discussion that actually I'm not quite as good at that. I'm not. I don't demonstrate that as often as I would have liked to have thought. And without the discussion, without the facilitation being led through the material, being asked questions, hearing from others, I wouldn't have come to that realization. The second reason is, to use a cliche, is that you don't know what you don't know, right? And so even if the topic for that month, for that session, seems like old hat, it's often the case that through the course of discussion, new ideas come up, or new ways of thinking about something that somebody else in another location has thought about or has implemented, and your eyes are open to different ways of doing things, different ways of understanding things. And it's just not something, speaking personally, it's just many of those are not things that would have occurred to me without that discussion. And then the third reason is I think really, if we look at, there are different models for stages of learning, for the stages of learning. The one that I'm partial to, the last stage of learning is rhetoric, or being able to explain something, right? And so my conviction is really I don't understand something very well until I can explain it, defend it, answer questions about it. And so the material that's covered, it's one thing to read the articles, to read the books, watch the video, listen to the presentation. It's quite another. To have to explain in my own words what the concepts mean, what they mean to me, how I implement them, and that kind of thing.